And welcome back to Carver Arena in downtown Peoria. It's the basketball capital of Illinois. This weekend and next, we've got a 1A state champion already in the books. That was Salt Fork. They were ranked number 1. Best we can do at 2A is Peoria Manual, tied for second in the final polls. And they play for the state championship here tonight against Robinson. And it's going to be interesting tonight, Cliff. Peoria Manual, not a lot of size. Right. They've struggled against team with size. Chaz Cross from Winnebago had a big night against him, 20 points, 15 rebounds in the super sectional. I thought they struggled a little bit last night against the size of Breeze Central. And now they go up against Myers Leonard, Mr. 7-footer headed to the University of Illinois.
So they definitely go against some size tonight. You know, last night they struggled offensively, only had 39 points. So I think they're going to have to get more scoring, and even more scoring besides Lawrence Alexander if they're going to be successful tonight.
Absolutely. And for Robinson, well, Ben Jones does a lot of the load scoring-wise as well.
He sure does. They're led by 3 seniors. Like you said, Ben Jones, Myers Leonard, and Coach Robert Kaufman, but also Derek Hannes. And those 3 I noticed last night, they all hit about their average. I think that Ben Jones averaged around 21, Leonard's averaged around 19, and Hannes about 14, and that's what they scored last night.
Myers Leonard had 19 points, but 13 of those came at the free throw line. What do the Maroons have to do to get him more involved offensively?
Well, they have to break through and get through the pressure defense that Manuel's going to put. I think that's the key. If they can get the ball where they want to get it, they're going to have some success. But I think the guards got to be able to handle pressure, and they got to get the ball to him down low.
Obviously, he was involved in the offense if he was getting to the free throw line.
Yes, he was.
But you'd like to maybe see some more field goals out of him.
You sure would. So be successful, maybe making some and ones, getting fouled and going to the hole, getting the ball down low in scoring position might help a little bit.
Does Manuel want this game to go at a pretty frenetic pace?
I would say they would. Yeah. I would say Manuel wants to get it up and down, and I would say Robinson, even though they like to push it sometimes, but I would say they like to keep it at a slower pace.
All right, it's Peoria Manual, the hometown favorites. If you hit the lights right, you could probably get to their school in about 10 minutes. Robinson coming from deep southeastern Illinois, and they clash here tonight for the 2A state championship. We're back after this local timeout. 2A state championship game coming up next year on the IHSA TV network. We are in our NAR studios. Lee Hall, Cliff Cameron, the head coach at Pleasant Plains. We continue to set the scene for tonight's 2A state championship game. Let's take a look at where these 2 teams come from to get here, the road to state. How far away? Well, we begin with Robinson. Their trek is a little bit longer. They're down in southeastern Illinois. Played for the state championship in 1916. This is their first state championship appearance since then. Peoria Manual, well, like I said moments ago, if you hit the lights right, you can get there in probably less than 10 minutes from the Peoria Civic Center. And of course, Peoria Manual, great success here, winning the final of their 4 straight state championship games here. Actually, their last 2 in 96 and 97. They won the 2 years prior to that, as you take a look at that map. And Cliff Cameron, when you talk about these 2 teams, you look at scheduling. Peoria Manual plays in the Mid-State 6 Conference here, primarily against a 3A schedule. Right. Robinson played some pretty tough teams in tournament play. They have more than readied themselves for the state championship game this year.
I think that's very important to get yourself ready and playing a tough schedule. Manual, I looked in the program, they played a very tough schedule as they usually do, and that helps them throughout the year, and especially in postseason. Robinson plays a tough schedule too. I know they played in a shootout to U of I. Along the way to get here, they played against a pretty tough Teutopolis team, and also against a Decatur St. Teresa team the other night. So they played some pretty good competition also.
Right, and that's deceiving when you look at the win-loss records.
Right.
12 losses combined for these 2 teams coming in tonight, but they put in the hard work to get here and challenge themselves throughout the year.
And hopefully that's going to pay off. It has paid off, and one of these teams is going to come away with a state championship. So, and I think that's very good point you made, that they have played a very tough schedule.
All right, it's the hometown favorites, Peoria Manual, against future Fighting Illini Myers Leonard and the Robinson Maroons for the 2A state championship. That's coming your way next on the IHSA TV network.
Robinson used a 4th quarter push to get to tonight's 2A championship game behind the scoring of Ben Jones and Myers Leonard. Peoria Manual is making its 9th IHSA Boys Championship game appearance. They're 5-3 in these games. The Maroons and the Rams next.
It's the game every team in the state of Illinois wants to play in when the season starts, but only 2 teams have survived the road to Peoria, and they clash here tonight for the 2A state championship. Hello and welcome to downtown Peoria, Carver Arena. I'm Lee Hall. Thanks for joining us tonight on the IHSA TV network. There is electricity in the air. 7-footer Myers Leonard and Robinson taking on hometown favorite and second-ranked Peoria Manual. Will manual labor prevail here tonight as the storied Peoria Manual program goes for their 6th state title? Here for the call of tonight's 2A championship game, Roger Lowe and Jim Albrecht.
Thanks a lot, Lee Hall. When you're growing up in Illinois as a boy, you have that dream. Not everybody gets to live the dream, but tonight some young men do. Robinson, the upstart Robinson Maroons against Peoria Manual, who's been here plenty of times before. Let's take a look at the road to Peoria. First of all, for Robinson, they earned it. 2 overtime win against Tolono Unity, and again, they had to fight off T-Town as well. They have cruised, of course, in the super sectional, but against Hales Franciscan, a gutsy effort to win in that fourth quarter, 64-61. Peoria Manual, they were cruising as well. Of course, the super sectional win against Winnebago will go down as one of the great comebacks in school history. And last night, holding off Breeze Central with great defense, 39-38. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jim Albrecht, along with Roger Lowe. Let's take a look at some of the players here tonight. And of course, when you look at the Robinson Maroons, you look at the big man, but you also look at Mr. Jones.
He's the leading scorer for the last 3 years for Robinson. The most important stat there, 11 for 14 from the line yesterday.
And there's a Jordan on this Peoria Manual team, and he guides things out front.
He's the floor leader. He's the guy they go to. Marvin Jordan, Ball State recruit. If he has a good game, Manual wins.
And if you're playing Peoria Manual as Robinson is tonight, you better really covet the rock.
Yeah, I think one of the keys is Derek Kahanis is going to have to have a great game. They got to get to the line. 7 fouls gets him to the free throw line, and they played 6 players yesterday, all seniors.
And of course, if you're Peoria Manual, balance, people, balance.
Yeah, somebody's got to give some help here to Alexander and to Marvin Jordan. They also have to create the turnovers. And the final thing, the Manual mystique, that's more than just 2 words. Anybody around Illinois basketball knows about Manual basketball.
Well, the last time Robinson was in a state championship game, World War I was going on. They're back tonight. Can they beat number 1 and number 2 on the same weekend? We're about to find out. Let's go to Paul Herzog, our public address announcer. Paul?
Good evening, basketball fans. On behalf of the Illinois High School Association and the City of Peoria, welcome to Carver Arena for America's original March Madness. This 2A championship, boys, for 2010 features the Robinson Maroons 26-5 and the Peoria Manual Rams 24-7. And now to honor America. Please stand, remove your caps, and pause for a moment of silence to remember the men and women of the armed forces serving us here and around the world, away from their families, protecting our freedom. Thank you as we thank them. Now, please address the flag with your hand over your heart as Chris Holman, a senior from the High School of St. Thomas More in Champaign, sings the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
now let's meet the starting lineups for this championship game. At a forward for Robinson, a 6'4" senior, 15, Devin Dirks. At a forward for Peoria Manual, a 6'5" junior, 34, Andrew Jordan. At center for the Maroons, a 7-foot senior, 32, Myers Leonard. At a forward for the Rams, a 6'6" junior, 50, Brandon Watson. At a guard for Robinson, a 6'1" senior, 5, Derek Hannes. One of 3 guards for Manual, a 6-foot sophomore, 25, Jeff Stokes. At a guard for the Maroons, a 5'10" senior, 12, Austin Seiler. At a guard for the Rams, a 6-foot senior, 31, Marvin Jordan. The third guard for Robinson, a 6-foot senior, 23, Ben Jones. And the third guard for Peoria Manual, 6'3" senior, 33, Lawrence Alexander. Head coach for Robinson in 7 years, a record of 71-114, Robert Kaufman, assisted by Les Wilson, Dave Holobeck, and Dick Muston. 4-year head coach at Manual, Derek Booth, a record of 83-38, assisted by Fred Lee, Ron Ingram, David Williams, and Willie Coleman. As the players and coaches wish each other good luck at half court, the IHSA, the board of directors, the member schools expect and promote good sportsmanship from all athletes, coaches, students, parents, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and the officials in a positive manner. No other state in America can claim the rich history and tradition that's been generated by March Madness in Illinois. It's America's original March Madness. Direct your attention to the arena floor and meet the officials for this game. The referee from Cobden, Dana Pearson. From Murfreesboro, Michael Austin. And from DuQuoin, Dallas Bigham. Presenting the game ball for this game will be Jay Hurd, Country Financial representative from Mononk, Illinois, one of the prime sponsors of the March Madness experience next door in the exhibit hall. We thank Country Financial for their contribution to the greatest high school single event in the land.
I chatted briefly with head coach Derek Booth of Peoria Manual. I said, well, coach, what's the assignment tonight? He said, we can't let Myers Leonard dominate inside, the 7-footer for Robinson, headed to Illinois, and we got to clamp down on their guards. I talked with Robert Kaufman. He said, we've got to get the ball into our big man, Myers Leonard, and we got to covet every possession. We cannot get into a turnover game with these guys, and we're ready to go, Roger. Myers Leonard, there's a good shot of him. Jumping center with Andrew Jordan, and obviously Leonard has the better of that. Bringing it up, Derek Hannes, who had a great semifinal game, 14 points and 4 assists last night. Inside, that's where they want to go. Look at this move, and we're underway.
Well, that's a textbook start. Hannes to Leonard.
Marvin Jordan gets it over to his running mate, Jeff Stokes. And this is Lawrence Alexander with a runner. Not there. Leonard high off the glass. Leonard averages a whole lot of boards. He had 14 last night and a jumper from the side by Devin Dirks, who doesn't score that much.
That's an unexpected gift if you're a Robinson fan, because Dirks is not going to give you many points.
So quickly up is Robinson. Knocked off #1 Hales Franciscan last night by 3. Driving Stokes, kicking it out. This is Jordan. This is good.
Ooh. Stokes did a nice job there. He saw Leonard in there and kicked it back out. Jordan got his feet set and hit a nice jumper.
Jordan averages 10.5 per game. Only a junior. Ben Jones, who really kept him alive last night in the first half. Whistle underneath.
And a real interesting matchup for me to watch, watching Marvin Jordan cover Ben Jones. That's going to be a real interesting matchup. 31 for Manuel, 23 for Robinson.
And of course, drawing the assignment, at least initially on Myers Leonard, is Brandon Watson. He'll try to get some help down low.
Yeah, but they'll have 10 to 15 fouls to give there because Roddy's can come in off the bench.
Another whistle. It's against Peoria Manual.
And here comes Roddy. That's 2 on Watson.
On cue. Yeah, Watson picks up 2 quick ones.
You don't see Coach Booth disagree very often. I don't very seldom see that, so pretty tough call to make in a championship game.
Talk about history. It's all over Peoria Manual. When you go to practice, you see all those state teams. Not only first, here's the alley-oop, and he missed it. A little too high. In a hurry, Alexander lost the handle. But Jordan maintains possession for the Rams. Tipped out, but it's right back to Jordan. And it's taken away by Devin Dirks. Good defense by the Maroons, who play in the Apollo Conference, came into this tournament ranked number 8. That's down low. That's not where he wants it. Fires it up awkwardly and doesn't come away with anything.
Manuel's really chest blocking Leonard. They got him in foul trouble there with Brandon Watson. They're laying the chest on him. So next time Robinson comes down the floor, I want the fans to watch that. They're putting the body on Leonard, trying to keep him away from the blocks.
And what we saw last night with Myers Leonard, who's headed to the University of Illinois, he had a bad first half offensively, but he hung in, changed shots just like that, rebound by Roddy, and he'll go to the free throw line. Jacoby Roddy, just a sophomore.
And a foul on Leonard. So I like the idea that Manuel's taking the ball right to the basket. Or they call it on somebody else. They call it on Hannes. Could have been Leonard.
Jacoby Roddy, not very efficient at the free throw line. But sometimes in a game of this magnitude, you can kind of throw the numbers out because, as Derek Booth said last night after the semifinal win, composure is something you can talk about as a coach, but you cannot teach it. It comes down to staring at a free throw with 30 seconds left and burying it. That's composure. Roddy makes 1 of 2. And a turnover the other way. Look at that pass. Up and good by Andrew Jordan.
That one is on Leonard there. And it was Leonard's mistake. Leonard just was kind of lazy getting that ball off the boards, and now he fouls the man here trying to get out of his way. It's time for the conventional 3-point play.
What a shock. Marvin Jordan with a no-look pass for the assist. And this could tie things up.
He's been a big addition, Andrew Jordan, a transfer from Woodruff. I don't think without Andrew Jordan, they're playing in this game tonight.
We're tied at 5s early. Lots of pressure from the Rams. Of course, Robinson saw a lot of this last night, and they did a lot of that last night in the first half. That's almost an over and back. Jones finds his man, but it's broken up. And here comes Marvin Jordan contesting. Gets it ahead to Alexander. Alexander drops it off, and that's going to go. Andrew Jordan again.
It's a great play by Roddy at the other end. Roddy's the one that set that thing up with the steal.
Wow, look at Jordan, man. After finishing at the glass, he comes back and knocks that baby out of bounds.
Jim, nobody should be handling this ball from Robinson except Hannes. Hannes should be the one bringing the ball up, get the pressure, and then he can pass it out of there.
Austin Seiler is the man doing the honors right now. Gets it over to Jones. Jones double team. Seiler trying to find Hannes. Goes back to Jones. That's a dangerous pass. But Jones is working it up court. He better slow it down. He does. Kicks it over. This is Hannes, and it's good for 3. Derek Hannes averages 13 points a game, leads the team in assists. Lawrence Alexander, the All-Stater, pulls up and buries it.
He's got such a sweet stroke. Gets up real high, and the ball comes off those 2 shooting fingers just perfectly.
Manuel with a quick burst to start, up 11-7. They started well last night early. Scored the first 7 of the game. This pass gets away from the Maroons, and they're down early. A lot of time left in the 2A championship. We're back after these network messages.
Yeah, you know, they've been great leaders for us all year. You know, it's just, like whatever you need. If it's defense, they pick it up on the defensive end. Offensively, they can score. But more important than that, they're great leaders in the locker room, on and off the court. the rest of the teammates look up to him, and that's important. They've been fun to coach this year.
Speaking of Marvin Jordan and Lawrence Alexander, there you see Derek Booth. No disrespect, but the best man as far as dressed in the house besides Lee Hall, of course.
He didn't get that one off the rack, I'm sure of that.
Derek Booth, been here as a player, finished second in '91 under Dick Van Syot. Been here 2 years ago as a coach, finished second, losing to North Lawndale. Jordan, nice cross-court pass, but it was not handled well by Roddy.
Yeah, it was just a little bit too close, but Roddy could have handled that ball. It was a good pass.
If he gets it in close like that, he'll probably close the deal.
Now, one thing I think Manuel's going to plan on using 15 fouls on Leonard with Jordan, Watson, and Roddy.
Fouled in the backcourt is Hannes. That one will probably go against Jeff Stokes, and there you see the head coach, Robert Kaufman, in his 7th year. Folks, this guy struggled. He had nothing in the cupboard when he came to Robinson. In his first 5 years, he won all of 25 games. That's in 5 years. This year, they're at 26 and counting.
And we mentioned this yesterday. That's a message to school boards around the state to give a coach some time. Give him some time to get his program set up. Don't fire a guy after year 2 like college coaches do. It's not college basketball.
In his first 3 years, just 8 wins on the board for Robinson. How far they have come.
Watch Roddy and Leonard there. Roddy's just putting his body right on Leonard.
Ben Jones likes that shot, didn't get that one. Jordan the other way, behind the back, coming down the lane. He's hacked from behind by Jones, and it is a foul.
I like the idea that Robinson's taking it right to Leonard. They're taking it right at the basket, forcing Leonard to make decisions.
Boy, I'm telling you, when Marvin Jordan makes up his mind, folks, you better put a body in front of him because he will not stop until he reaches the rack.
And the thing I like about Marvin Jordan's game is not really his offense. It's his ability to see the floor, ability to lead, ability to play defense. He's going to be a very nice point guard in college.
Last night with 13 seconds left, he buried 2 free throws to ice it.
He's the only player right now on the benches that played in a game, a state championship game. He played 2 years ago.
Yep, saw some minutes there, in and out. So the young man headed to Ball State, makes 1 of 2, gives his team a 5-point lead. Jones triple team. Somebody's got to be open. Seiler takes it to the lane. Out of control, but got it to go.
Wow, big basket by Seiler. They're getting some contributions from other people. Seiler and Dirks each with 2 points.
And you knew when Jones was triple teamed, if they could just get it into the front court, somebody was going to get a shot. Seiler off balance, nailed it. Trouble inside, getting it back and rejected was Jordan. We got 2 Jordans in the game. This is the sophomore Stokes. Floater, no, got it back, and no again. Tipped around, look out, this is Jordan. Misses again, that's 3 tries for Peoria Emanuel, and they come up empty, and I'm sure that Robert Kaufman's not happy.
Each time that they knew that Leonard was there, Leonard got his hands on one of them, but the other 2, they knew Leonard was there, and he threw off the arc and the rotation of the ball.
And the personal foul goes against the Rams. That gives them 4 here.
Real interesting matchup. I love stuff like this. When you see Jones, who's led this team to score for 3 years against a defensive master in Marvin Jordan.
Jones averages 20.5 points a game. Finds the cutting guard, Hannes. And it's down to a 1-point game. Derek Hannes gets another one. Look at this move, folks. Floats it and in and out. Rebound comes down to Myers Leonard.
You could see a lot of one and done with Leonard in there. One shot, and they better be good ones.
He had 14 rebounds. This is Hannes again. That one is blocked by Andrew Jordan. And they say it went back off of Hannes. Let's check it.
Yeah, we're going to get a good look at it. I like Hannes taking the ball into the rack here. Great call by the official. That's why they're doing the state championship game, the Southern Illinois crew.
Looked like he kind of maintained possession despite the block and then threw it, trying to get it up to the hole and went out of bounds. Traveling on Alexander on the wing. And Alexander has got it all, folks. He is on the honor roll, an all-stater, captain of this team.
We talked about creating havoc here, too. Manuel's dropping the pressure off a little bit. Robinson with 3 turnovers already, but it's going to be this half-court man that Robinson's got to take care of the ball.
Alexander gets down low on that defense. Garden Hannes. This is Austin Seiler. Not a great shooter, but he'll find the open spot. Dirks throws it up in the air. That was an alley-oop intended for Leonard, but it was not in the right spot. And now Jordan loses, gets it back and scores. Well, it looked like it was going to go all bad for Jordan, but it turned out good as Andrew got the ball back and put it home.
You watch this play, there's only 3 Robinson players in the picture. Jones and Leonard were very late getting down the floor, which I don't think Coach Kaufman would be very happy about. Manuel had a 5-on-3 break, and things like that are going to add up to 2 points.
Dirks picks up his first personal.
And Andrew Jordan with 10 points already, Jim.
He has been the man here in the first quarter offensively. Hannes breaks the double team, and he is fouled. Andrew Jordan will pick up the personal. Only his first. You're watching the 2A state championship game live from the Carver Arena, the state capital of basketball, Peoria, Illinois. I'm Jamal Brecht along with Roger Lowe.
This is where Hannes is so effective with the ball in the middle of the floor. Did such a great job of it yesterday in the upset win over Hales Francisco.
Hannes headed to Ball State to play baseball. Drops that one off, ill-advised. The other way, Alexander counted.
Wow. And again, Roddy was a big influence in that play. Roddy knocked the ball away. And the big flush by Lawrence.
That is a clean net now. Ooh, Jones tipping it out of bounds, and that'll be a turnover. And again, you got to spread the floor against this team, and you got to make very crisp passes.
Right now, the body language of Robinson, a lot of finger pointing, a lot of faces down here. Manuel could put him on the ropes early here. A very important defensive stance now for Robinson.
Derek Booth will take the air out of the ball. He wants to force people out so he can get some open slashers.
I'm not sure I like this because Manuel has momentum.
Jordan drops it off low. Oh, yeah, Jordan to Jordan.
12 points already for Andrew.
Hannes
and
he's going to head to the bench because his coach wants a timeout as Manuel has put up 19 in the first 7 minutes of the championship game. And boy, they are motoring.
You got to be judicious about these timeouts because like you only have 3 timeouts in the state series rather than 5 like you in regular season.
Peoria Manuel will get that 14th trophy. So who will it put them ahead of? What school? If you're an Illinois basketball historian, think about that one for a while. We'll be back with the answer.
I'm going to go with, boy, that's tough. Boy, I'm going to say Centralia.
Yeah, they had some runs, didn't they?
Could be Collinsville, could be Decatur, could be Quincy.
Not T-Town though, right? They've had some great years, but I don't know if they've had that many.
I'm going to say it's Centralia, but it could be, boy, there's so many great programs in our state of Illinois.
Okay, Roger, what's your final answer?
Centralia is my final answer.
Okay. Quincy, you had him on the list, man. You had him on the list. Now it says ahead. It doesn't say the most ever.
Right.
Of course, Jerry Leggett, all the great coaches down there, the late Jerry Leggett.
Yeah, Cheryl Hanks started out. Sean Taylor doing a great job with them now.
And if you've never seen a game at Quincy, if you've never been in that gym, it truly is one of Illinois basketball's high spots.
We said one of the keys to the game was taking some pressure off Jordan and Alexander, and Andrew Jordan has sure done that to start with.
Right now, they've done a good job on Ben Jordan. Jordan, of course, had 15 in the first half last night for Robinson. Now he works against Jones, working against Jordan to the glass and couldn't get it to go. Here it comes out again, and look at Manuel trying to get it, and it is Manuel's ball.
I'm going to tell you what, Roddy is not, he's only scored 1 point, but look at this play Roddy makes here.
Look at him come up.
That's Andrew Jordan, my mistake. Andrew Jordan makes a great play on that.
Slapped it off the glass. That happened so quick it was hard to notice it. And now with 40 seconds remaining, we'll see if Manuel throws it away. They got numbers. Jones with a clear path. Hangs and hits.
First basket took him almost the whole quarter to get it. Manuel will play for 1.
Yeah, it's a big basket if they can hold here defensively. First quarter almost in the books. They won't go until about 10 seconds left, and that is right about now. Jordan drops it off, and right there, but in and out, is Jacoby Roddy. And in a hurry, let's see, can Leonard... He hit it!
Can you believe it?
The buzz is on. Don't go away. Back after these local messages. Oh my goodness.
Peoria Manual leading Robinson by 3 after that three-quarter court three-pointer by Myers-Leonard. We are with former Manual head coach Dick Van Sciak, at one time the all-time winningest coach in the state of Illinois. He coached Manual to their 1994 state championship, the first of 4 straight. Tell me about this Manual team. You were up in DeKalb the other night to see them play Winnebago, and Lawrence Alexander hit a shot to send it to overtime. You said it was the greatest shot in Manual history.
Well, under those circumstances, you know, if he hadn't made that shot, the tournament would have been over for Manual.
Right. Tell me about this young man coaching this team, Derek Booth. He's a guy that played for you, got a second-place trophy, and he's just done an admirable job with the Rams.
Super young man, doing an outstanding job. And Derek played for us back on that 91-92 team that got second in the state, and it was a defensive stop. And we needed someone to get on the best player on offense for the other team. We called on Derek to get the job done for us. And he's carried that tradition right on through for Coach McLean, myself, and now he's doing it, and Manual's known for their defense. If they can hold up, we're in good shape.
He had a good teacher, Coach Van Sciak. Always a pleasure to see you. Guys, you look at that Manual bench, and Fred Lee and Willie Coleman, all those guys played for Coach Van back in the day. So they're just carrying on that tradition, guys.
Offensive foul on Myers-Leonard. That is his second. Robert Kaufman not happy. That, of course, came after the sweet jumper by Andrew Jordan, giving him 14 of the Manual's 21 points. Let's take a look at our stats very quickly, brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards. Roger?
They're really pretty much straight up. I like the second line from the bottom if you're a Manual fan, and it's a very important foul that just occurred for Robinson. Myers' second foul.
Do you go at
Absolutely
Myers-Leonard right
Absolutely.
now? You sure do. Down the lane, a whistle beforehand, traveling on Jeff Stokes, the sophomore.
They're going to try to get Myers to make fouls when he's cutting across the lane, trying to get in his path.
And remember, when you're trying to get their big player in foul trouble, you don't just have to do it on your offensive end. As you pointed out, Roger, you step in front of him, get position. If he's setting a pick, which he's doing now, Jones hanging, hitting.
He is so smooth.
Ben Jones, the leading scorer the last 3 years, and a turnover the other way.
I've turned into a Ben Jones fan since I've been down here. He's going to make somebody a fine small college guard.
So just like that, with the lightning three-quarter length three by a 7-footer. That was Leonard's 4th three-pointer of the year, by the way. I'm sure he hadn't hit one quite like that before.
Now look at Roddy. Face guarding him there, chest bumping him.
Jones baseline hanging, no. But the tip back up and in by Cody Shamblin, who just checked in.
You got to put 5 butts into 5 bodies, and somebody let Shamblin get his a wide open look there.
Cody doesn't score a lot, only 2.5 per game, but there's a big 2 to pull his Maroons back to within 1.
Let's see if they go to Andrew Jordan right now, because Leonard's guarding him man-to-man.
Landis Farmer in the game for Manual, wearing number 22. They go right back to 34. This time nothing doing for Andrew Jordan. Good defense inside by Leonard and company. Hannes wants it. No. Rebound comes down to Jordan. Landis Farmer in a hurry. Only a sophomore. Jumper. Left wing. Not there. Alexander controlled underneath, however, and blocked by Myers-Leonard. Watch this guy get up. Oh, it doesn't look like he really got it. I thought maybe he tipped it. Let's look at it again. Nope, didn't get it, but he got fouled on the way down. So Myers-Leonard.
That's 2 on Andrew Jordan, Jim. That's a big foul. Because you have 2 on Leonard, you have 2 on Jordan, and 2 on Watson.
And he may not have blocked it, but
he altered it.
He definitely altered it.
No question.
With a chance to take the lead, the Robinson Maroons. They look to be in some kind of trouble near the end of the first quarter, and now a whistle out front. It'll go against Ben Shamblin, or Cody Shamblin, excuse me. He was trying to set a pick, but he got a little over-aggressive, according to the officials.
You got to be real careful now with Manuel. Roddy has 1, Jordan with 2. So whoever's guarding Leonard could be in foul trouble if they try to feed the post to him.
Manuel got here by beating Breeze by 1. Robinson got here by beating Hales Franciscan by 3. That ball's loose and taken away. Another turnover. Compliments of the Maroon defense. Again, they get a shot to take the lead.
Boy, there's a bloodbath in that low post in there.
That pass on the interior block just a little too high. When I say high to Myers Leonard, it's got to be high.
Boy, did you see that down there? I mean, Leonard was trying to hold the post, and Manuel just beat him. I don't know how a foul wasn't called on that one.
And again, this is the kind of play that Myers Leonard has to get used to when he goes to the University of Illinois. No free rides on the offensive end, not in the Big Ten.
Not a threat to score out there is Roddy.
This guy walked right before he fired. Andrew Jordan goes, whoa. I was ready to launch for my 16th point, but not there. We got a dandy 2A championship game back after these local messages.
Yeah, I don't think it's sunk in yet, but I think the more and more we hear that 1916, it just seems more and more amazing that we've achieved this year. The community is really excited, as is the basketball team, as is I. You know, a coach's goal is always to make it to the Final Four, and now we're here, now we're ready to make something happen.
And they are making it happen. That reference to 1916, of course, the last time that Robinson ever played the championship game. They lost to Bloomington High School 25-17. Their coach was William Livingston, I presume. Jones against the defense, nails it. He pulled up because he had somebody in front of him, but he floated away, and now Robinson has their first lead. Wide open for the jumper, and Manuel says, I'll take it right back. Compliments of Andrew Jordan, who now has 16.
Up his 16th point. That's a big number, though. Leonard with 2 fouls, Andrew Jordan with 2 fouls. Who's going to get the big man in foul trouble first?
A packed house in Peoria tonight, watching a great tilt. Blocked out front. Hannes couldn't launch. Here comes Loris Alexander. Weaving his way, and he'll change his tempo a little bit. Wait for teammates. Again for Jordan? Oh, yeah.
Wow. Can you believe the game he's playing?
Whoa.
18. Yes, sir. We said that in unison, didn't we?
You got to be impressed with that. That ball's headed out of bounds, but Seiler could not save it. Right in front of Derek Booth.
A lot of quick hands by Manuel. They just get those deflections. Not always steals, but they get deflections.
Derek's brother, of course, David, right behind us. Assistant coach at DePaul. And, of course, you look at Derek Booth, you remember his teammate, Howard Nathan.
Now, there's Stokes, who hit the 2 big free throws yesterday to put Manuel into the championship game.
And right now, you got to keep your eyes on Myers Leonard because he's got 2 personal fouls. Jordan has 2 as well.
1-3-1 zone now for Robinson. 1-3-1 zone to maybe protect Leonard a little bit.
Cody Shamblin picks up the foul.
And Manuel's going to the line right now. Every foul that either team commits now will be a 1 bonus.
If you like fast-paced basketball, I hope you're enjoying what you're seeing on the IHSA Television Network. Class 3A and 4A next week, of course.
I like the move by Coach Kaufman to try to protect Leonard.
Jordan having a monster game, but misses the front end of that one. That is rebound number 8 for the Illinois bound Myers Leonard. Derek Hannes with the ball, the son of a coach. His dad, baseball coach at Lincoln Trail. You can bet he's in attendance tonight.
Watch Roddy and Leonard now down the blocks. Just watch this. 45 covering 42 Leonard.
Foul way away from the basket on Marvin Jordan.
His second.
So Manuel getting themselves in a little bit of a pinch here as far as the personal fouls are concerned.
They're taking the Jordan boys out. Both Marvin and Andrew are going to take a seat.
Both with 2 personal fouls. Landis Farmer will check in. Also checking in for Peoria is Isaiah Duncan, number 55.
Who's the best pure shooter on the Manuel team, in my estimation, along with Alexander.
When you talk about shooters, Ben Jones, he's money from the line, 83%. He had 29 points in the super sectional, 9 rebounds, 21 last night in that big win over Hales Franciscan, and 6 boards. And he made a lot of these, but misses that one. Stokes in a hurry. Stokes to the rack. Couldn't get it to fall. Leonard with another rebound. When we went to commercial break after the first quarter, this place was literally buzzing after that three-point bomb by Leonard. Hannes tries to backdoor, finds Jones, who works his way up and in and out, but he'll go to the free throw line. How did he get loose? Strength. How much does he bench press?
About 245, I heard, and the only way he gets this up is doing that. Manuel is doing this right now, Jim, with 4 sophomores on the floor. State championship game, and they're playing 4 sophomores right now.
And that's why Peoria Manual has all of those trophies. And when you think about Peoria Manual, think about all the great guards that they've brought to the state tournament over the years, and of course another one in the form of Marvin Jordan.
I wonder if Coach Booth will want to buy a little bit of time now, because he's got a young, inexperienced team in there against 5 seniors from Robinson. Robinson's top 7 players are seniors.
And Derek Hannes, you saw him coming out right now just for a blow, because when you work the ball up against Peoria Manual, you do exert a lot of energy, and we are tied after Mr. Jones visits the free throw line. 25 all.
Only 1 senior on the floor from Manual, and that's Lawrence Alexander, right now with the ball.
With the basketball, splitting the defense and almost losing the basketball, but getting it up to Farmer. Down low, Leonard said not now, but they called the personal foul. He's very upset. Let's go to the replay.
Leonard's out of control right now. Coach Compton's got to get him under control. It was close.
He got a body on him.
It was close,
Got a body on him.
But he's got to keep him under control. Myers Leonard right now with his 3rd foul. Coach Leonard saying, look, you got to just keep it cool. This is the one thing Myers Leonard's going to have to learn. He's going to have to learn to play just a little bit more under control.
And Coach Kaufman chats right in front of us with one of the officials. That is huge.
That's a major foul. I wonder if Derek Booth will start taking the ball inside exclusively now, trying to get Myers to make another decision like that.
Only a sophomore, Roddy. Put his team up by 1, and now do you keep Myers Leonard in the game for the final 2:39 of the first half?
I would not, but I've never coached a team in a state championship like Coach Kaufman.
That was his 10th rebound. His season high is 16. That's a bad pass. And this is a breakaway dunk for Alexander.
You got to get Hannes back in the ballgame. He's your stabilizer. He's checking in the score table right now.
And some confusion in the backcourt, and they better hurry. They got 3 seconds, and they beat it. Ben Jones will try to solidify things. Gets it blocked inside.
They're doing this with 4 sophomores on the floor.
Oh, a nice pass underneath, blocked and rebounded, and now out of bounds and controlled by Dirks.
Well, that could have been Leonard's 4th. He took Roddy and threw him to the ground.
Oh, he got away with something there.
He sure did.
Up top, short. Devin Dirks couldn't get it. And now on the deck is Leonard. He's down. It's a 5-on-4. The other way, blocked, but back up and not in by Roddy, but he fires again and will go to the free throw line. And boy, let me tell you, Robinson fans aren't happy right now.
I think he got undercut a little bit there as well. Let's see where we're going to see this replay. I don't know what part of the play we're going to see. I think he might have got undercut.
Oh.
But you know what? The Manual guy is trying to get up his way. That's a tough call to make. I don't know. I don't know if that's a call you make or not. I'm not an official. Roddy was just standing there.
And here's what happened. The ball came out long, so Leonard had to lean back. Roddy was holding his ground. He didn't come in and undercut him. He was already there.
I think Leonard right now needs to come out. I think he's really upset, and I think he could commit that 4th foul. He did commit a 4th foul down here that wasn't called.
The official talking with him right now.
They can't win a state championship without him.
Manual up by 3 and now 4. Right now, it's kind of up to Ben Jones and Hannes to kind of calm things down.
Yeah, they're the leaders by example out there.
Jones with the basketball.
Roddy's going to pick up his 2nd foul here, I guarantee it, if he keeps leaning on him.
Alley-oop won't go. No call. Here we come the other way. In a hurry, it's Farmer. Farmer pulling up floater in and out. And the rebound controlled by Austin Seiler. No numbers. But the 7-footer was back there. Dirks will go to the free throw line. Devin Dirks, man who knows his role, good defensive player, and he had to go to the hole on that one.
You made a good point there. These guys like Seiler and Dirks and Shamblin are good role players. They know what they have to do. They know who to get the ball to, Jones and Leonard.
And it looks like Leonard's going to come out right now. And checking in for Robinson will be Jimmy Stevens, number 13. Free throw is good. And I'll tell you what,
this is a good move, Jim.
And of course, coaches get paid not a heck of a lot on a high school level to make these calls, but they also get second guessed a lot. And if he had picked up number 4, he would have never heard the end of that. And I'm talking about Coach Kaufman.
This is a move you have to make right now with a minute to go. And you got Stevens in the ball game now, who's the football quarterback, so he could give you a little bit of leadership.
Dirks makes 1 of 2. High for the rebound is Alexander the Great. Look at that crossover dribble. Drops it off to Roddy. Puts it not home. Headed out of bounds. It belongs to the Maroons.
Roddy's hands aren't very good, Jim, because that was a good pass. He should have handled that one.
And they had the numbers on that one. Basketball, the game of opportunities. When you get opportunities and you take advantage of them, you're in good stead. If not, yeah, you're putting yourself in harm's way. Jones hangs, and you knew that one wasn't going just from the trajectory. Here comes Alexander again.
One shot.
Looks over for the sophomore Stokes.
You're going to say sophomore 4 times out there because they have far him out there.
I don't know if there's ever been a state championship game where there's been 4 sophomores on the floor at this juncture. Had a dandy first half, that's for sure. Farmer looking for Stokes.
They're going to start working right now.
Well, they're going to get it to Alexander. You know that, I would assume. No, I assume wrong. Stokes finishes the deal. 3 seconds. In a hurry, Jones. He'll launch from 45. No. And Robert Kaufman and Robinson head to the locker room. We're going to wait, of course, for head coach Derek Booth to get his thoughts here on the first 16 minutes. Lee Hall is yours.
All right, Jim, thanks a lot. Coach, you're surviving out there with 4 sophomores. Both teams suffering with the foul trouble.
I've been relying on these sophomores all year long. It's a great group. They work hard. And we got 16 more minutes of basketball to play, and we got to survive 16 more minutes.
I thought when you guys were able to force your style of play on them, things went well for you.
We definitely want to get the ball up and down the floor. We want the big boy running for 32 minutes. I told the guys it's going to be a track meet. And we've been prepared for this type of style of game since open gym started. And I said, we're going to go back to open gym. Nobody in the country has played open gym like we had, as hard as we have, and it's going to pay off tonight.
Good luck to you, Derek Booth. All right, we're back in Peoria after this network timeout.
What a first half in the Class 2A championship game. I'm Jamal Brecht along with Roger Lowe. Peoria Manual finishing with 4 sophomores on the floor, but as you heard their head coach say, Derek Booth, hey, I've relied on these guys, so it's not something like throwing them into the fire. They've been there before. Let's check the stats brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards. Boy, lots of numbers up there.
Yeah, you know what? It just shows what kind of close game it is with the 5-point game. Not much difference in anything. And, you know, the whole key is how much can Leonard play in that second half. That's going to be a huge, huge key, obviously.
And a big 2 at the end of the half by, of course, a sophomore, Jeff Stokes. And we'll have highlights for you a little bit later on. Right now, the IHSA is preparing itself to hand out the medals and the trophies for 3rd and 4th place. Here is Mr. Herzog.
And welcome back to Carver Arena in downtown Peoria. You know, I've said for a couple of years now, I've thrown this into my own little line that Peoria is the state capital of basketball in Illinois. And now look who shows up, the governor. How are you, sir?
I'm glad to be here. What a first half, a great game, and the 3rd place game was a great game, and you can't beat Illinois high school basketball. It's the best of the best.
You know, that's one thing I wanted to talk to you about. You know, Illinois gets a bad rap these days. Illinois High School Association, though, what a great asset for this state.
Well, the IHSA has been organizing this tournament for boys and girls, and it's very well done. And, you know, it's very important for kids to learn sportsmanship, play as a team. We saw that in every game played this tournament, and I think it's very much of a tribute to the coaches, the parents, and definitely the players.
I know I'm an Illinois kid. You're an Illinois kid. I grew up watching this tournament on TV. What are your memories from way back in the day?
I remember Bogey Redmond back in Collinsville days, and I can tell you, all the great players that come through, Quinn Buckner with Thornridge, and I think everybody who watches this tournament knows it's something special. It's a tradition in Illinois. I told these kids tonight, you'll never forget this night. As long as you live, your teammates, that's what it's all about. That's life at its best.
But it's so exciting for those of us just watching, too. You're giving me goosebumps talking like that.
How about the shot at the end of the first quarter? About 75-foot shot, and it's a good game. And, my brother's a high school basketball coach, John Quinn. He's been coaching for about 30 years. And, when you see kids 30 years later, how they've made a difference in their lives and other people's lives, pretty impressive.
I know you were watching us last week when Fenwick was on TV for the girls' state tournament.
I went to Fenwick High School. How about Tricia Liston? She's a player, that's for sure, and she's going to Duke. But we have to give credit to Bolingbrook. They really are a great team, and Young is a great team. Look forward to next week for the 4A championships. But this is really, tonight, 1A and 2A, real good.
Governor Quinn's son ran in the state finals here in Detweiler many times here in Peoria. You ran cross country back in the day, and you're still running.
I am running, yeah. Right. No, I believe in high school sports. They're pure sports. Kids really, here's Robinson coming out now. This second half will be a barn burner. And I think it's really a tribute to everybody in our state, how much we support our high school athletics, our local teams. You can't go wrong.
I'm available for Lieutenant Governor.
All right, there's an opening. Okay.
Thank you, Governor Quinn.
Thank you
so much. All right, what a pleasure to have Governor Quinn with us in the house here tonight. It's 31-26 Manual leading Robinson here in our 2A state championship game.
Call it the Fast and the Furious, Roger. Here's your first half highlights.
Nice dish off there to Andrew Jordan, and got his feet set for a great shot. Ben Jones to Hannes. Hannes is a deadly shooter, got his feet set there as well. Here's Lawrence Alexander, the All-Stater, with a nice pass inside to Jordan. Jordan with 18 points in the first half. There's the deflection by Roddy. He's had several deflections for the flush by Alexander on the other end. Here's Myers.
Oh, man, watch this.
Yeah, you'll be seeing this shot for a lot of years in this tournament. Unbelievable shot. And then another deflection, another steal. Alexander for a second dunk. One more deflection by Manuel. Alexander finishing.
We are back after these network messages. Don't go away. Our Subway sub of the first half is Jacoby Roddy. He was one of the four sophomores holding down the fort for Peoria Manual. Reminding you, get any regular footlong for $5 at Subway. Eat fresh. Well, I said the Fast and the Furious. I wasn't referring to the movie, Roger. I mean, that first half. And again, what we saw was a lot of physicality aimed at Myers Leonard, the 7-footer for Robinson. Now, he may not be used to that much physical presence underneath. I mean, they were leaning on him. They were going after him, and there's a couple of reasons for that. First of all, if they're not going to get a call, you keep doing it. Second of all, you want to get under his skin.
The biggest number on the stat board right now is 3. That's Myers Leonard's third foul. I don't think these officials are going to want to get Myers Leonard out of the game. So I think if I was Coach Kaufman, I'd tell Myers to be very aggressive, especially at the offensive end, because they're not going to want to influence the outcome of the game by taking him out.
And remember, Andrew Jordan left with a lot of time left in that second quarter. He had 2 personal fouls, but he was just lights out with 18 points. 18 Emmanuel's 31, and we are ready to go. And the Maroons will do the honors inbounding. They came into this state tournament ranked 8th. They've knocked off number 1. Now they're trying to knock off number 2. Hannes to Ben Jones, their leading scorer. 3 years consecutive. Dropping it down. There's a nice move and doesn't quite get the roll as Leonard comes up shy. Here comes Marvin Jordan.
That's what I was talking about, Jim.
Did you see that, Roger? Oh, my goodness. Jordan went up with a shot that never got close. Jumper along the baseline, not there, but Hannes is there, and he'll go to the free throw line. Nobody screen Hannes out.
You can almost put 2 points on the board now when Derek goes to the free throw line. Almost automatic. What I was going to say earlier is I think that Coach Leonard is going to take the ball inside like I thought he could, or Coach Kaufman, excuse me, to Leonard, because I think they're going to let him bang down there. They want to keep him in the game, let the players decide the outcome of this thing.
Leonard with that monster block. Has 10 rebounds, but again, as Roger alluded to, the big number right now is 3, as in how many personal fouls he has. Quite frankly, as you stated earlier, Roger, Robinson is not going to win the state tournament if they don't have that cylinder in the motor. Stokes coming across, doesn't like what he sees, so he'll go back. Same starting 5 for Peoria Manual. Jordan Stokes watching, Alexander and the other Jordan. Watson was out early. He had 2 quick personals, so he's only seen about 3 minutes of time here tonight.
Thought he played a great first half on his place.
This is Watson getting it slapped away by Leonard, getting it back. And we've got a personal and a charge. A charge on Brandon Watson, which would be number 3.
We'll take a look at this again.
Woo!
Hard to see if there's much contact there or not, but the official's right there. Yeah, he leaned his shoulder in. Great call.
Derek Hannes.
Watson leaned his right shoulder in and knocked him off the floor.
Derek Hannes is 6'1", 185. Watson is 6'6", 240. And so he took the bruise and gives his team the ball back. Hannes. Austin Seiler starting the second half. Getting leaned on by Stokes, and that'll be a personal. Don't want to make a foul that far away from the basket, Roger.
One of the officials are going to try to kind of clean up this game a little bit and call it a little bit tighter. It looks like maybe they're going to start doing that in the third quarter here.
There's really very little reason for Robert Kaufman to have a chair over there on the bench because he's rarely on it. Always guiding his team. Seiler trips out front. Stokes tried to pick it up, and we've got a foul, I think, on Ben Jones.
That'd be his third.
Whoa.
That's a big foul. Jones didn't mean to foul him, obviously, but he just kind of got his feet caught up there. Watch the play there. He knocked him off balance. You have to call it. Anytime you put the offensive player at a disadvantage, it's a foul.
Yep, he definitely got a piece of it. Jeff Stokes, who hit 2 big free throws in the final minute yesterday, gets it over to Alexander, the captain, the all-stater, to the glass, no. Back up, almost there by Jacoby Roddy, but not to be. Looking down on the block, yep. That's Myers Leonard, that's where he lives.
I like the way he ran the floor that time, too. He got down the floor and got himself in a position to make that shot.
Yeah, you're right. He got body control first, and with 3 personal fouls, you better have control. Stokes kicks it out. Lawrence Alexander averaging 15 points a game with the ball right now. Firing for 3, in and out. It's Hannes clearing the boards for Robinson. They're 26-5. It's number 27 they're after. Seiler, short. Dirk gets it blocked. Devin Dirks had to put it up, but
well, good job by Jordan on blocking it, but I like to see him keep the ball in play. Knocked it out of bounds, so Robinson gets the ball back.
Jordan doing it all. Hannes, yeah!
Ronnie, I just love this kid. I think he is just a key, a catalyst. He's what small school basketball is all about.
Well, if Manual had any dreams of running away, which it looked like they might do early, those dreams are back on the shelf. Reality is set in. They're down by 2. Plenty of time left in the Class 2A state championship game.
This kid with the ball right now is going to be the next great guard in Manual history. This kid's going to be very, very special. Stokes.
Got the great first step. Andrew Jordan wants to force the issue inside. And did you see that Myers Leonard made a smart move, backed away out of there? That foul will go against Robinson.
I think it's good strategy, though, by Coach Booth to take it at him, because I don't think Myers is going to want to block too many of those shots. He can't afford to get number 4.
Now, if he can get through this third quarter, another issue altogether.
Right. Andrew Jordan just having an unbelievable game right now. 19 points, 6 boards. We're going to get a TV timeout here after this shot if it goes in, and both teams need a little bit of a break the way this game's been played.
Jones will come out with those 3 personals. Cody Shamlin will come in for the Robinson Maroons. And this group of young men for Robinson, when they were freshmen, they basically banded together and said, we're going to get back to state. Like the team before us in 2002 did. Timeout, we're back after these local messages. It's dead even.
And what a game here, 33-all in the 3rd quarter. And what would a trip to state be without the roller coaster ride? It's been a roller coaster season. Whoa! I bet they didn't do the roller coaster back in 1916, guys. Oh man, look at my hair. Oh look, I got a new hairdo, guys. What do you think?
I like it.
That's good.
I like
that's
it.
Good.
Just don't eat too much cotton candy before you get on that roller coaster ride, Lee Hall. Back with Jamal Brecht and Roger Lowe. Couldn't ask for a better contest for a championship game. That ball is headed out of bounds, too high for Leonard, but saved by Peoria Manuel. Goes on the attack.
This is what Manuel has to do, Jim. They have to get this thing to a 94-foot game, and running the breaks, things like that is how Manuel's going to win this game.
Alexander the Great, right to the glass. And there's another steal. Jordan got it. The other Jordan got it, but threw it away.
That was a real unfortunate turnover by Marvin Jordan. He could have just taken it out and set it out.
Derek Booth. He started out as a ball boy on the Peoria Manual team, and then you saw his former coach Dick Van Sciac finish second as a player, finished second as a coach 2 years ago against North Lawndale. I don't think he wants another second.
I just feel safe if I'm a Robinson fan with a ball in this man's hand.
That would be Derek Hannes, who's headed to Ball State. He's the shortstop on the baseball team. He's got a baseball scholarship there.
He broke a lot of small school basketball coaches, though, in college's heart when he found out he's going to play baseball, because he can play some basketball in college.
Dirks gets it to Hannes for 3 in and out. Rebound, Jordan. That thing was down, but refused.
Possession Manual
to stay down.
You have 2 real strong guys going off this rebound. No one was going to give up on this between Jones and Jordan. Those are two big boys getting after that.
Looks like a disagreement in the weight room, doesn't it? Those guys are getting at it. Robinson has been in some very close games in the second season. There's a foul as Alexander goes up. But, of course, you look at Peoria Manual, the last 2 games, they've been very, very tough.
I like the idea of this little up and under by Alexander here. Foul on Hannes first with the body. Look at Myers Leonard. Yeah. He thought the call might have been on him.
He thought it might have been against him. Now, this is the young man who hit the 3-pointer against Winnebago with about 3 seconds left to go in regulation that basically saved them the ticket down here, because they went into OT and went on an 11-0 run against Winnebago, which was undefeated at the time.
He gave him a chance to win it. Of course, they ran out either 9 or 11 straight on Winnebago.
And you asked Derek Stokes, does your team respect the fact that you were a player here? And he said, yep, that means a lot at Manual. We are all about our tradition, but of course we want to write our own history. Alexander, that's where you want him, at the free throw line, 80% shooter. Jones double teamed, has to call timeout.
Yeah, and they only have 1 left now. Robinson only has 1. I'm going to reiterate my point. In the regular season, you get 5 timeouts, but down here at state, you only get 3. So that could be a critical factor late in the game.
Indeed it can. Apple's Bakery, if you want the best homemade bakery goods, you want Apple's Bakery in Peoria, serving breakfast and lunch. They've got great breakfast wraps, homemade soups, and of course, you know what Wednesday is, right, Roger?
You bet.
St. Patty's Day. They've got corned beef waiting for you at Apple's Bakery. Bakery goods delivered anywhere. I'm talking anywhere, right to your door. ApplesBakery.com.
Now, neither team shooting the ball real well, Jim. Manual shooting 37%, Robinson 41%. But, you know, it's a close game in every other category. There's not one other thing you can say is an advantage for one team.
There's a loose ram, I can tell you that. I don't know what that maroon mascot is. I know it's maroon, but I don't know what kind of animal it is. Are there maroons like in South Africa? I don't know where the maroon comes from. Oh, I see. Sorry, folks, I was subject to some Lee Hall humor off mic there. There's the guy I'm talking about. I assume it's a guy. You never know.
I've been real impressed with the solid game that Dirks and Seiler have given Robinson too. They've made very few mistakes. They've played their roles. They've played good defense. You know, they've been subservient in their roles all year long, and without those two kids, there's no way Robinson would be playing today.
And on the other hand, you look at Peoria Manual, and as Derek Booth told me during the shoot-around a couple of days ago, we really have gained confidence in each other. We support each other no matter how the game is going. We got a tangle out front. It's down low, and he's going to go to the free throw line, Myers-Leonard. Boy, there was a wrestling match out front between Marvin Jordan and Derek Hannes. They were both on the floor and wouldn't let each other up.
Yeah, that was kind of strange. It's right in front of me there. I'm going to let that one go. Now Leonard, 7 feet tall, but got a very feathery touch at the line.
He says he has 3 goals. One is to win a state championship. One is to get a major college scholarship. That one's already crossed off, thanks to the University of Illinois and head coach Bruce Weber. The third, tall order, make it to the NBA. And if you ask a lot of coaches down here, they say that's going to happen once his body fills out. But there's a game yet to be played before we talk about that. He's good at the free throw line, an invaluable asset for a huge inside player. Marvin Jordan, been a little quiet lately, trying to make some noise, and he'll go to the free throw line.
And I can tell you what Derek Booth said. At the halftime. Take it right in the hole. Take it right at him. Marvin Jordan taking it very strong in the hole. They're trying to get Leonard to get that fourth, or at least make him commit.
Austin Seiler, the guard, picked up the personal on the low block. There you get a good look at the young man who pretty much can play any sport. Captain of the team.
Used to be the football quarterback, so, you know, that position's always a leader. I just like the way he sees the floor, too, Jim. Never takes his eyes off the 4 teammates and the 5 opponents.
And Manuel was clutch at the free throw line last night, and then he got Robinson averaging as a team 77% from the line. Missed that one. Somehow got it back. Going back in. Over to Jordan. Whoa.
He's been a man among men today. Andrew Jordan been a man.
Pair of deuces up there on the scoreboard for Jordan.
That's a
and there's
block.
Contact on the other Jordan, and that is a personal, and you can see how acrobatic the boy can be. He is an athlete.
That's Manuel's 5th foul of the half. Fouls are starting to mount up for both teams.
What Robinson wants to do now is not get down 6 or 8. They've already done that once tonight. Climb back in it. Jones, this is where he likes to operate.
I think that's the weakness of his game right there, is ball handling, but he took it to the hole real nicely on that occasion.
And he's so strong, as we said earlier, if somebody gets up, puts an arm on an arm, it doesn't really bother him. Another block by Leonard. And Jordan's coming up a little slow. Talking about Andrew Jordan. Might be a little gassed at this point. Jordan watches. Jones hit it too.
He's a money player. That's 13 for Jones.
Another tie, folks. You can't ask for a better championship game up to this point. Still 10 minutes of regulation left to play. Lawrence Alexander.
If Robinson can keep Manuel in a half-court game, Robinson can win this game. Manuel's got to turn into a more of an up-tempo game.
Well, Jordan can up-tempo it, and hanging and blocking the shot and sending it onto the floor was the Illinois recruit again, Myers-Leonard. Let's take a look at how he controlled his body and got the block.
I like the idea that these guys both get on the floor after this loose ball, though. I mean, it's all on the line, all these summer workouts, all these summer camps. Comes down to the last 9 minutes of your career.
Yeah, Jones and Jordan looked like they were in the state finals on a wrestling mat on that one. Ooh, almost in trouble out front, but Farmer gathers it in.
This hasn't been an easy game to referee, but I thought the officials have done a very consistent job.
Driving is a sophomore Stokes, and a foul out front. It looks like it's going to go against Austin Seiler.
Take a look at this. This could have been close to goaltending. We'll see if it's on the way up. That's very, very close.
You got a presence like that around the basket. Every time you go in there, you've got to remember that he's in your neighborhood. How many blocks did you have in high school? Same number as I did?
Yeah.
Pass out front, very dangerous. Alexander goes, and a whistle again out front, and a blocking foul.
I'm really surprised Leonard is leaving his feet though on some of those. You see Leonard leaving his feet. Manuel's taking it right at him.
There's the foul right. There's the bump. That was on Hannes.
Yep, it's a good thing it was on Hannes because Leonard would have picked up his fourth.
With the body.
You bet. Now the next foul, Manuel will be shooting one bonus.
Hard to get it inside when you've got a 7-footer like Leonard standing underneath the basket on an inbounds pass like that. So they work it around. And let's see what Derek Booth, the head coach of the Rams, wants to do here as we approach the 1-minute mark remaining in the third quarter. Somebody will win a state championship. If Manuel does, it'll be their 6th. Wild shot, not there. Getting it back is Jordan, tipped around. Jordan's got it back and a whistle. Devin Dirks will pick up the personal. Boy, that is just an alley cat fight.
Let's see
underneath
this now.
the basket.
Leonard's hand was in the net. I don't know if we're going to get to see this.
Yep, it is.
Yeah, that should have been a goaltending call right there, even if it's unintentional.
Here's the man who's led the way for Peoria Manuel tonight. He's 9 of 13 from the field, 4 of 5 from the line, make it 5 of 6.
It's a nice time to play your career game if you're Andrew Jordan.
Averaging 10 points a contest. And making 1 of 2.
Leonard's 11th board.
Robinson. They might hold here. Let's see. Down by a point. Jones trying to work off a pick up top by Hannes. If they let him eat the clock, they might do it. Dirks alley. Oop! Tipped up and in!
Well, this is a big time play by Leonard as he gets bumped hard. Cradled is in his hand. That's not an easy play for anybody.
That is great body control. Now, obviously, you have to be 7 foot tall to do it, but you also have to fight for that space and time it correctly.
Yeah, and just another proof of how soft hands this guy has.
And again, he used to play baseball. He says he might play baseball again his senior season. That'll make the mound look a lot closer with that kind of reach. Missed the back end. The ball's headed out of bounds. Jordan did not save it, or did he? Last touch by Robinson, he did.
I would imagine Manuel will play for the last shot here. And I would think in the fourth quarter, Manuel's going to up their pressure. Trying to get more Robinson turnovers. Robinson has 14 for the ball game. Manuel's going to win the game by up tempoing this ball game.
And you got a freshman in there right now, Aaron Seiler. He's up on the basketball, guarding Jeff Stokes.
I saw him in the super sectional. He's a good player.
He is the younger brother, of course, of Austin Seiler, and he better watch out or he's going to pick up a foul. Instead, Stokes takes him to school.
Yeah.
A sophomore on a freshman, there wasn't much of a contest there. And a foul on, I think, Stokes. He doesn't say much.
Let's take a look at this one. Yep, he got him on the left hand. This is what Manuel's going to have to do. They're going to have to just put that pressure on him and get the defense to create their offense.
I think they called that on Andrew Jordan. I'm sure they did. That's 3 because it was Jordan coming in with the reach. Hannes.
Hannes made 8 threes in the game this year versus Charleston, so, you know, the free throw's almost like a layup to him.
And we need to repeat, this may be the best shooting free throw team in the state.
I wouldn't be surprised at that at all.
Right around 77% from the line.
The 7th lead change. How much more can you want?
How about 10? Down to 8 seconds. Stokes gets it over to Jordan. He's going to fire somewhere. No, he drops it down to the other Jordan. It's good. And that's the way the third quarter comes to a close with another lead change. Number 8. Don't go away. A great fourth quarter coming up with a 2A state championship after these network messages.
You're right. So he's moving up.
All right, you got it.
Keep track of it.
We are back. Let's take a look at the stats from Menards. Save big money at Menards.
Right now, Robinson's shooting 46%, as you see, and the free throw percentage, once again, Robinson keeping them in the ball game. Manuel doing a good job on the boards, but the stats don't really show much. I mean, it's a 44-43 game. Everything's so even there.
And Myers Leonard getting himself very close to getting in the state final record books. He has 5 block shots. Stanley Simpson of Simeon in 2008 and Herb Martin of Rock Falls in 1999 had 6 block shots in a title game. And of course, he also has 11 rebounds. And up next is Brenson Verheims of Woodlawn. He had 13 in a title game. So we'll keep track of that for you.
Now, these guys from Robinson have played together since they've been in the 8th grade. This may be their last quarter of basketball that they're ever going to play together. They need to band together and see if they can play 8 minutes of the best basketball of their life.
Again, when you come down to state and you have to knock off number 1 and number 2, it means you have to earn it. Jones hard to the glass, but couldn't get it. And here comes Jordan with numbers. 4 on 2. Jordan splits, hangs, got it.
That's what Manuel is so good in the open court. They are so good in the open court. That's what's going to win a state championship for Manuel if they can do that.
And did you see him stay away from Myers Leonard? Put the body in front and then went with a wide half hook almost. Hannes in traffic. Contact, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Yeah. That's going to be the 4th foul on Andrew Jordan.
Every inch of the floor being contested.
Oh, that's a tough call. That's a very tough call against Manuel. Because what happens now, you lose 25 points out of your lineup right now, and you're going to give up 2 points when Hannah's at the line.
Jordan limping just a slight bit as he comes off the court. Checking in, Jacoby Roddy, the fine sophomore. Woo, boy, you can just kind of feel the tension building here at the Carver Arena in Peoria.
That's a big loss for Manuel. Let's see how they make up for that. You got to lean on your seniors. You got to lean on Jordan. You got to lean on Alexander.
And of course, Jordan and Alexander have known each other for a long time, played together in grade school. Their mom's best of friends. He frees himself, gets some space, and Leonard couldn't get to it.
Because you don't have really many scores in the lineup other than those 2 guys. The other 3 guys are just complimentaries.
Alexander now with 12 after a big night last night. Hannes with a very difficult shot. Jones strong, back up, count it. And it's back and forth in the 4th quarter. What a contest. Lawrence Alexander.
I really think there's only 2 scorers in the lineup for Manuel.
I know who they are.
Stokes is not going to shoot much. Watson's not going to shoot much. And neither is Roddy, unless they get down low.
They rode those 2 horses last night in the final quarter. Here he goes, up against the 7-footer and gets it rejected, but they say last touch by Leonard.
Like I said, I think they're going to let Leonard do that. Nobody really in foul trouble right now except for Andrew Jordan. I think they're going to let Leonard get a little body there because they want to leave him in the game.
A lot of threes up there. Oh, inbound and down, Jacoby Roddy. And that was a breakdown defensively.
It sure was. That's Roddy's strength right inside on the blocks. I'm just amazed that Roddy has played so long against Leonard and has stayed relatively foul-free. He has 3, but boy, there's been a lot of body contact there.
Manuel with 5 state championship trophies on the shelf. Coaches Van Syak and McLean responsible for those. Leonard with a smooth foul before he follows his own miss.
And that's going to be 4 on Brandon Watson.
Watch this, folks. He's got agility. He can spin, and he keeps following. And I tell you what, Manuel's lucky he was fouled on the play, although, as you said, Roger, you got another guy in foul trouble, and there's some chippy stuff.
That's the one thing that Leonard has to improve. He just can't do that and be an elite player. He has to improve that.
When there's so much on the line, I mean, I know you're talking about every game, but when there's so much on the line.
I don't care. And stuff like that should not happen. And Leonard is a great basketball player. I'm not going to take anything away from him. He just got to improve a little bit on his demeanor.
And if you lose yourself with so much on the line, you could lose more than You're tempted.
Absolutely. He's going to get bumped more than that for the next 4 years, I guarantee you that.
Again, a 1-point game. Manuel has the ball and that precious lead. We've been going back and forth, and now Derek Booth wants to talk it over. We're back after these local messages. You're not going away, are you?
This copyrighted broadcast is presented for the exclusive entertainment and non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction, rebroadcast, or other use of this program without the express written consent of the Illinois High School Association and cost broadcast sales is strictly prohibited.
Jim Albrecht, Roger Lowe, and Lee Hall.
Thanks, Jim. Derek Booth called that timeout. He wanted to get all of his defensive assignments set. One thing he told his team, keep 23 off the boards. Ben Jones, you got to check him out. And the other thing he said, no more my faults. My faults will get you beat. Back to you.
Out front. Thank you, Lee. Appreciate it. Lawrence Alexander. He's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. That was a little too hard. Skying up. Jacoby Roddy had it knocked away, but somehow the Rams maintained possession with that cat quick reflex.
Nobody really wants the ball as far as scoring, except the two seniors.
Driving is number 25, Stokes. Jeff Stokes.
He made a liar out of me, didn't he?
I tell you, I didn't think he was going to take that shot, but he did, and he put his team up by 3.
He's going to be just a special player. He might be one of the great guards in manual history by the time he's done.
Hung with it, got the follow. Jones, there's some contact. Whoa, Manuel spills on the floor, lots of bodies. Let's see Jones take the baseline.
He's just so strong, just to be able to get this ball above his shoulders.
Whoa, that's Alexander with the personal.
Now, I'm always amazed at Jones. The guy shoots 83% from the line, but he shoots about a 15-foot, 3-inch free throw.
Yeah, he's not right. He's not toeing the line.
No, he sure isn't.
20 points per contest. His season high, 35. Free throw ends up short.
So notice his right foot there. The black line is the free throw line, obviously. He's given himself 3-4 inches there, but, I mean, if you make 83%, keep doing what you're doing.
Back on defense, go the Maroons. Let's see if head coach Derek Booth in his 4th year, trying for his 84th win, which would be his biggest, as the coach Emmanuel wants to take a little air out. And a foul away. Somebody coming around to pick, and it looked like Ben Jones picked up his 4th.
You bet. You bet. Big call.
Well, you can't really take him out now, can you?
No, I would not take him out. I'm going to be surprised if Andrew Jordan doesn't come in too after this TV timeout.
Alexander, one of the most coachable kids you will find, according to his head coach Derek Booth.
I'm going to say this again, Jim, that this has been a very, very difficult game to officiate.
Well, it's been so physical.
These guys have worked real hard and gotten themselves in the right positions. And, you know, they deserve commendation.
4-point lead, looking pretty big at this point. We're back with the final 4:49 after these network messages. Well, the stage is set for a fast and furious finish because it's been pretty much that way the whole game. Even the babies are staying awake. It's so frantic out there. But the kind of title game that fans really will talk about for years.
You know, a lot of the things that you see today are things like you said, that Leonard's shot from whatever it was, 65 feet or whatever. But right now, Robinson with 43 of their 50 points from 3 players. Jones obviously in foul trouble for Robinson. These are 2 important guys for Manual, especially Andrew Jordan.
And Brandon Watson, who's kind of their center post defensively, has not seen hardly any time tonight, picking up 2 quick fouls early in the first quarter and then again in the third quarter. And still, Myers Leonard has not been able to get himself too loose underneath.
I'm thinking Coach Booth is going to leave Andrew Jordan on the bench until Robinson starts making a run and maybe gain momentum on him.
By the way, Myers-Leonard now with 6 blocks. That ties him with Stanley Simpson of Simeon and Herb Martin of Rock Falls. Most blocks in a state title game. The most ever, LaFonso Ellis, East St. Louis, 1988. Alley-ooper. He's going to dunk. You knew that was going to happen as soon as he gathered himself. And turning it over is Marvis Jordan out front. Watch him get his body under control, Roger.
Not much you can do about this. Roddy couldn't contest that, or he'd picked up his 4th.
And of course, all the guys in America who are 5'10 and 5'11 say, just once I'd like to do that, just once. Down to a 2-point game. Ben Jones always keeping his team in it with 16 points, dribbles out front.
Look at how they deny the passing lanes. Manuel getting up there.
Jones looks down, low block. There he is again, pushes off, and he trapped.
You bet he did. Even took his left arm and pushed off a little bit there as well.
Aaron Seiler, the freshman, checking back in. Devin Dirks will take a rest.
I hope Andrew Jordan is not liking his place on the bench because he's not going to be there much longer. I do like it when Roddy's in the lineup, though, for Manuel, because he gives him a lot of defense, gives him a lot of stuff around the basket, too.
Peoria Manual won in overtime in the super section, a 1-by-1 last night. Now they're up by 2 in the closing minutes of winner-take-all Class 2A.
Jones covering Alexander right now, too. Probably the best offensive player Manuel's got.
Stokes, who made a big follow off his own miss moments ago. Landis Farmer in there, number 22.
That's going to be an interesting matchup, like I just said. Jones covering Alexander, because Alexander's going to get the ball here.
Roddy roaming the baseline here. Stokes goes again. Won't fall. Tip again.
Wow. What a sophomore this kid is.
2 follows by the sophomore, and he keeps his team up by 4. And a foul away from the ball. It's against Myers-Leonard, number 4.
I did not see it. Did not see the foul. Let's see.
Jockeying for position. Robert Kaufman asking for an explanation.
There we get a look at this. I did not see it. I was watching the play out front. Did you see what happened, Jim?
Did not.
Here comes Andrew Jordan now. Oh, beautiful. Here comes the replay. I want to see what happened here. They've been chest blocking the entire game. Just moves him out with the left arm.
Oh, that's pretty chippy, but there was contact. Of course, if you're Myers-Leonard, you're saying, hey, there was much more contact when I've got the basketball.
Yep.
Tough game to officiate. Alexander, great.
Took it right at him. Took it right at him, Jim. Leonard couldn't do anything about it.
And this is a key trip down for Robinson. Seiler, short, rebound Jones. He's going to go back up. He is going to score.
Boy, what a big play by Jones. He's been big play after big play after big play today. His 18th.
When they needed it most, Ben Jones delivered.
What a great game to watch.
As we said before, Stokes getting in the mix again. No, short, rebound. Leonard.
Could have used the board on that one and given him a better chance.
Hannes with an open floor, fouled as he comes across the lane.
That's 2 points. Is that 5 on Andrew Jordan? I believe it is.
Yes, it is. He's the
gone.
guy who bumped him.
He's gone. 25
Andrew
points, 9
Jordan.
rebounds. He's on the bench.
Wow, what a turn
That's
of
big.
events. You miss an in-close shot at the other end. Not that Stokes hasn't delivered for his team.
Yeah. Stokes should have used the board on that. It's just too hard of a shot. And boy, you lost just a big cog right there. What a great game by Andrew Jordan. This kid had a lot of press clippings as a freshman. Didn't play real well as a sophomore, but boy, what a great game this evening. And this kid's money right here. It's going to be 58-56. I'm almost telling you right now.
In the lineup, Brandon Watson replaces Andrew Jordan with those 5 fouls.
Now both teams are going to be shooting 2 fouls on any common, 2 shots on any common foul. Takes a little pressure off from that one-on-one.
Jordan looks on, wants to be out there.
One important stat, too. Robinson with only one timeout left.
Oh, Hannahs is just such a solid player. 14 last night in the semi, 16 tonight, and we are down to the 2-minute mark with the game hanging in the balance. The winner, the best in 2A. The loser, almost.
Robinson's been beaten really 3 times in the postseason. They've been down at halftime, and here they are 2 points away from the state championship.
They're jumping out on Alexander. He threw it away. Ben Jones playing with 4 fouls. Drives, hangs, contact to the free throw line. Goes Robinson.
See this again. I think they called it on Alexander. They called it on 25, which is Jeff Stokes. You got, like Jim and I said, we don't know this for a fact, but probably the best free throw shooting team in the state in the Robinson Maroons.
What a game. If it goes to OT, nobody in the Carver Arena, the very packed Carver Arena, will complain. Tie. The noise is rising. Jordan loses the ball. Here comes Ben Jones. He's fouled from behind by Jacoby Roddy.
Well, I think Jordan got fouled down there on his drive to the basket. I'd like to see that one.
And we caught it a little late.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a foul out front after the exchange.
That's 4 on Roddy. They put a huge body on Marvin Jordan there.
Jones, 6 of 8 from the line tonight. 83% on the year.
51 of the 58 points scored by Hannes, Jones, and Leonard.
This is what you work for. The lead is 2. And now the pressure's on the Rams. They trail with time ticking away. Alexander hangs. We're tied again.
What a money man there. His 18th.
And now what do you do? A minute remaining. Do you try to hang on for a last shot? That's an awful lot of time.
Yeah, absolutely not. You play for your best shot right now.
Their best case scenario will get it on the low block to Myers Leonard. Second best, this guy, Ben Jones.
Roddy and Watson with 4 fouls each.
Jones going, scoring! Charge!
Offensive.
Wipe it off! Wipe it off! A charge!
Jones is gone, too. He's gone.
And look who set up. The man with 4. Was he sliding?
Wow. Could have gone either way.
He sliding.
Could have gone either way there.
Ben Jones
is gone. Coach Kaufman's got to get his kids under control here. Everybody's really upset on the Robinson side. And
Myers Leonard gathers his teammates together at the other end of the court.
That's the toughest call in the business, Jim. We've said this time and time and time again. Could have been the 5th foul on Watson, but now Jones is out.
Jones got the lane, slashed to the glass. It was bang, bang. Brandon Watson playing with 4 fouls. Might have been sliding ever so slightly, but it's one of the toughest calls in the game.
I think Manuel needs a timeout to decide whether they want to play for 1, and that's what they're going to do right now. A good call by Coach Booth. They need to discuss, do we want to play for 1 shot or the best shot?
Both teams with 1 timeout remaining. You make the call.
Let's take a look at this again.
I think he's moving. I think he's moving, but that's just me, folks.
Now, from that angle, it did not look like he was, but the angle before that, it did.
Wow, Ben Jordan goes from celebrating to being distraught because now he can't help his teammates any longer. His career at Robinson is done. The senior has played his final second.
Jim,
but he can still celebrate a state championship.
Stokes has taken the ball in his hands more times than I thought he would, which I applaud him for, but If the ball leaves Marvin Jordan or Lawrence Alexander's hands for long, I'm going to be shocked.
Yeah, we've seen Stokes take it, but I got to go with the horses that got you here. Let's go quickly to Lee Hall. Lee?
All right, well, Derek Booth may not wait for the last shot. He says if we got a layup, we're going to take it. Otherwise, run it down to about 12 and let's get into something. He reminded his team he's got one timeout left. If you get tied up, call a timeout. If we get to 12 and we don't have anything, we call timeout.
And remember, there's no fouls to give here. Every foul is an automatic 2 at the free throw line.
Remember now, Robinson is a seasoned veteran team. All 5 seniors out there on the floor. Manual has a lot of youth out there.
Cody Shamblin is in for Ben Jones. Jones and Alexander are the guys you want to watch. Marvin wearing number 31.
It's not going to leave these 2 guys' hands much. They've got you here.
Since elementary school, they've been passing the ball back and forth to each other. Who will make the final pass, and will it be an assist that wins the state championship?
No count by the official right now, so he's not being too closely guarded.
Jordan, timeout.
It's going to have to be a penetration. It's going to have to be penetration by Stokes. I would say Stokes on penetration, maybe Marvin Jordan.
And if they penetrate, you know, and everybody in the house knows, that Myers-Leonard is going to go after that basketball, regardless.
Let me ask you this now. If you are Coach Kaufman, you go to some kind of a zone. Because when you play zone, it makes it more difficult to penetrate there. So we'll see. His best defense is his man. I mean, that's been proven. Well, let's just see maybe if he might throw a little wrinkle at him right now. Because I don't think Manuel expects that.
Well, Robert Kaufman's telling him what he wants. Derek Booth telling his team what they need to do. You see Brandon Watson tapping his teammate Lawrence Alexander. Boy, this is the stuff of legends, folks. There's your reset. Manual burning their final timeout. Robinson, if they can get a steal, still has 1 to burn. Possession arrow pretty big right now. Robinson has that. Wow.
Well, this will go down as one of the greatest championship games in the history of this wonderful tournament.
And it's been nothing but a joy to bring it to you. I want to thank our great crew. Let's go to Lee. Lee, what's going on in the huddle?
Attack the basket for Manuel. Maybe about 3 seconds left. Look for the tip in. Sometimes it's not that first shot that beats you, it's the second. And for Robinson, block out, block out, block out, guys.
We may see one of the most memorable plays to unfold in Peoria. They go to the backcourt to Alexander. He looks up, 7 seconds left. He's going to take the final shot. He drives, he hangs. It's no good. We go to OT. Robinson dodged the bullet.
I tell you what, I was really surprised with how far they threw the ball in the backcourt. And that was...
We're back with the OT after these local messages. Let's take a look at the final shot in regulation.
Kind of off balance by Lawrence Alexander. I'm surprised that they threw the ball in the backcourt, though, because by the time Manuel got the ball across the 10-second line, there wasn't much time left.
And rebound by Myers-Leonard now ties him for 4th place. Most rebounds in a title game. He just tied Bronson for Hines of Woodlawn, who did it last year. Well, both teams playing without a key member. On the bench with 5 fouls, Andrew Jordan, who scored 25. On the bench with 5 fouls for Robinson, Ben Jones, who scored 22. And of course, this advantage will go to Robinson. 4 minutes in the OT.
They're keeping the ball away from Hannes. Look at that. They don't want Hannes to touch it.
And a nice save there by Cody Shamblin. Hannes forcing against Alexander. Hannes driving, hanging, bad shot, scrambles after it, picks it up somehow, fires it out front. Dirks doesn't want that shot, and we've got contact and a blocking foul along the baseline. Hannes will go to the free throw line.
So many close calls today. That wasn't close.
Nope.
But they've been trying to take the ball away from Hannes. Manuel with good strategy there. And if you're Robinson, you want the ball in this man's hand.
And Alexander had a foul to give. He's only got 3 personals now. And
8 for 8 from the line in this game, Jim.
as we said, the coach's son headed to Ball State to play baseball. There you see Derek Hannes. And there you see the lead.
You know, that's just a sign of a shooter. That ball just sat on the rim, soft touch. He looks like he should be playing in a junior high tournament right now. And here he is in the biggest stage.
The big players make the big plays. They're cool when everybody else is tense. There's a wild shot by Alexander, and now Robinson has the advantage here in the OT if they can put up some more points, and they will. Alexander now with 4 personals.
A lot of contact on Manuel's possession. Could have been a foul called there as well.
Let me repeat again, folks, the number of teams that come to state and walk away with a state championship that have beaten number 1 and number 2, it's not a long list.
Well, let me tell you what, if Robinson wins this game, this is my player of the game. He's got 19 points. He's got 5 rebounds. He's 11 for 11 from the line.
Is he perfect? You tell me.
I fell in love with him in the super section. I haven't changed my mind a bit.
And now Emmanuel needs to score. Plenty of time left in the OT, but they trail by 4. Remember, Alexander playing with 4 fouls. He has the basketball. He's driving. He's hanging. He's hitting. Pressure back on the Maroons.
Hannah says, get out of the way. I can take care of this.
Working against Jordan. Finds his angle. Got to get it up. Ooh, Hannes was thinking about a 3, but the D jumped out. And look at how far out Myers Leonard is right now to help out. I don't see a 7-footer that far from the basket very often. But these are different times.
Ooh, that could have been an offensive foul by Hannes.
And he throws
He's
it
the
off
one
the
that created the contact. That could have been a foul.
I said it before, it's worth repeating. Every inch of this floor is being fought over. In the old days of basketball, you didn't see this in-your-face D all night long and a foul out front on Jordan. And that is not the man you want to send to the charity stripe.
There's 4th. 14-year-old face playing like a 15-year NBA veteran. I wonder what the record is for most free throws made in a row without a miss, because he's got 13.
He's trying for 6 of 6 in the OT. In and out. Three-point game. Peoria Manual trailing. They had the last shot in regulation. Alexander couldn't get it to fall. It looked like Robinson might have the lead and the game, but a charging call on Ben Jones. Here is Jones. No. Rebound and a foul on Peoria Manual. And guess who got the position? Devin Dirks, the senior.
Roddy's gone now, too.
And this contest is long from over, but if you want to see a coach go genuinely, and I'm saying genuinely nuts, it'll be Robert Kaufman, of course, whose dad was a coach as well.
But you're sending Dirks to the line. Now, he is the least effective free throw shooter that Robinson has.
Yeah, and he's at 69%.
Right, but I still think it's a, you know, if you have to foul somebody, it's there. But a great job by Dirks, and like you said, holding position. It's a 2-shot foul, though.
How about that? Brandon Watson is fouled out in both games down here. He can't be happy with his performance. Got into foul trouble early. No. Rebound is coming out to Manuel. Jordan fights for it, goes behind the back, gets a little wild, now gathers. Alexander for a big 3, no. Speaking of big, there's Myers Leonard. 4-point lead in the basketball. Now they're going to hang and eat some time. No, Hannes is going in for a 6-point lead. Forget about eating clock. He wanted more. A foul stops the clock with 1:29 remaining. How about Hannes? He just kept pressing the issue.
Manuel's going to have to up the pressure defensively, Jim. That's all they can do right now. Even though Marvin Jordan and Alexander each have 4, so does Jacoby Roddy. They have to man this pressure up or zone pressure. They can't drop back. If he makes both of these, I guarantee Emmanuel's going to be in a full court press.
Stokes made 2 big ones last night in the final seconds. Composure, composure, composure.
This is a name you're going to hear a lot about for the next 2 years in Illinois high school basketball. This kid right here. Now Robinson has 2 timeouts left. So if they think they're going to get a 10 count or can't get it in, they've got some timeouts to burn.
Hannes has 7 of the 8 points in OT for Robinson. He's with the ball again, gives it up to Seiler. Seiler going to eat up some time, try to get out of the corner, and he does. Right back to the Mr. Reliable number 5. Hannes draws contact. And Peoria Emanuel wanted to travel but did not get it. You check it out, folks. Whoa. Could have gone either way, Roger Lowe.
To me, that looks like a walk, but they don't ever call it.
In the OT, 6 of 7 from the line for Derek Hannes.
You just can't win without a good point guard. Seton Academy proved it this last year, and Robinson may be proving it this year.
Of course, you talk about Myers Leonard. Of course, he gets a lot of attention, deservedly so. Ben Jones. But then you're right. You got to have the point. There's your man. A minute and 15 away from an upset.
Manuel will take a timeout if they score. They only have 1 left, but they will take it.
6-point lead. Jordan lost it on the way up. Roddy's got it, and he is fouled. Yes, he is. Robert Kaufman. He's not going to be talking too much after this in terms of his voice. Here's Stokes. They don't want Stokes with the ball, or do they? Stokes hangs. Yes, they do.
Timeout.
It's a 4-point game. No timeout forthcoming yet. Hannes gets it ahead to Seiler, the big man, helping out in the backcourt, and they work it up very nicely with the lead. This is when it's invaluable to have a great free throw shooting team, and that is what Peoria Emanuel is facing right now.
Either Jordan or Alexander's gone, depending who they called it on. Alexander
is heading to the bench for his last moment of playing time as a Peoria Emanuel Ram, and what a career it's been. He'll be playing some college ball. He hasn't decided yet. Rhode Island called him the other day.
How can you not if you're a fan of Illinois basketball?
There he is.
First of all, love this game. I just love the way this Hannes played the ball game tonight. Hannes has been the difference.
And I know there's got to be a loser. That's the way sports is set up. But I don't want anybody out on this floor tonight to feel that way, Roger.
10 lead changes, 6 ties. Man, they're going to have to use the next timeout, Jim. If they score, they're going to have to stop the clock.
Stay tuned for the post-game interviews with Lee Hall. Again, a 6-point lead. Jordan to the rack. And they don't call a timeout. Hannes works it in, almost traveled.
That's where you got to foul this kid. You got to foul him.
And they do. Stokes got him on the arm.
Now Seiler's an 82% free throw shooter. He's actually a better free throw shooter than Hannes on the season. Hannes shoots 81, Seiler 82.
When your worst free throw shooter on the floor hits 69%, it's just kind of a crapshoot as to who you choose.
Same about Seiler too. He does a lot of things you don't see in the scorebook. Only 2 points, but he's been a big factor in this game.
1 point closer to a state championship. It's a 2-possession game, but big difference between 5 and 6, Roger, because 2 threes can't beat you. 2 threes now can only tie you. Dontorian Stuckey rolled it into Marvin Jordan. Here's a long jumper by Farmer. No rebound, fought for, and a jump ball.
Manual ball. No, it's Robinson possession.
Robinson has possession. Their fans are going gonzo. 17 seconds left. They beat number 1 last night. They're about to do the same to number 2. When all the people predicted out of these 4 teams which one would win, not one, except Robinson themselves, picked the Maroons.
Right, you're exactly right. They make one, this game's over.
And I want to say this right now, Roger. I know Manual may lose this game, but they have been nothing but class, just like their coach.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There's been no barking, no complaining. And now Myers-Leonard knows he needs this one for a 3-possession game. 3-possession game, and you can start jumping up and down in the packed stands, Maroons fans. Start jumping. They don't want to stop the clock. Jordan out front, not there. Another tipped rebound. And this one is going to be over. Robert Kaufman and his Robinson Maroons are celebrating. He hugs Ben Jones. Ben thought he might have left the floor of those 5 without a chance to celebrate a state championship, but Ben gets to. It's a feeling only a player and a coach can understand.
And I'm happy for Coach Kaufman's dad, because he groomed his son to be a coach, and he's got to be so proud of him right now.
That is out of control. 17 of 18 from the line, folks. Now, if you're playing basketball in Illinois, don't watch the highlight reel. Watch the free throw shooters. You can make a living there. Number 5 is proof positive.
They are 35 for 43 in this game today.
Wow. The clock is winding down. It's time for Robinson to celebrate. Go do it, Maroons! Leonard in tears of joy, headed to the University of Illinois with a state championship in his back pocket. There you see Robert Kaufman in his 7th year. Folks, this guy's team won 8 games in his first 3 years. The school stuck with him. Look what it brought.
Yeah, I tell you what, there's a lesson to be learned. We said that many, many times, and the Robinson people should be very, very proud of the way their kids played today. They could have given up, they could have quit. Manuel had them on the run, but just too many weapons, the 3 superstars, the 2 role players. And I tell you what, if Mr. Boy had not picked Derek Hannes, I would have had a beef to pick with him. This kid was outstanding today.
28 points and living on the free throw line. Here's Lee Hall.
All right, Coach. Well, number 1 last night, number 2 tonight. How's it feel?
Unbelievable. I mean, these guys, every game all postseason, we've been behind and going into the 3rd quarter. Find ways to win. True sign of a champion. So proud of these guys.
And you know, everybody talks about Myers-Leonard, but you have other guys step up. Ben Jones, this guy tonight.
That's the thing. It's a team. We win as a team, and so many guys do so many different things for us. Had a heck of a game for us tonight. So proud of the guys. Unbelievable.
If you could bottle this energy, you'd make a ton of money, sir. Congratulations, Robert Kaufman. And our Country Financial Player of the Game, Derek Hannes. The scoreboard has you for 27 points. You were phenomenal at the line, especially in overtime.
Yeah, I was able to just go to the basket and draw fouls, and I just knocked my free throws down tonight. It really helped.
Myers was in foul trouble. Ben Jones fouled out. This team persevered.
Yeah, we did. Anytime you have to play without Ben Jones against a team this good, you got to come out and play special, and we did in overtime.
Number 1 last night, number 2 tonight. There's no doubt about it now who's number 1, is there?
That's right, we're number 1.
All right, Derek Hannes, congratulations. State champions from Robinson. Been a long time since 1916, guys.
As humble as he was good from the free throw line, Derek Hannes, officially 28 points, 18 of those points coming from the free throw line. And you can't say enough about the heart of a champion. Let's look at the final stats brought to you by Menards. Save big money in a big game at Menards.
Go all the way down the line. Robinson shot better from the field, obviously shot better from the line. Look at that, 20 more free throws than Manuel. That was the difference in the game, obviously. Hit a few more threes, but you just got to give credit to Robinson. They played what I consider just a system game. They played this way all year long. The 3 major scorers and the 2-3 role players creates a champion.
And Leonard had 15 rebounds and 6 blocks and 16 points.
A team won the game. That's all you can say. A team won the game.
Let's go to Mr. Herzog and pass out some hardware.
This time, please meet the Rams of Peoria Manual, second place in 2A with a record of 24-8. Superintendent, Dr. Norm Derflinger. Principal, Dr. Sharon Desmoulin-Karat. Assistant Principal, Tanya Jenkins. Athletic Director, David O'Day. Athletic Trainer, Greg Gay. Head Coach of the Rams, Derek Booth. Assistant Coach, Fred Lee. Assistant Coach, Ron Ingram. Assistant Coach, David Williams. Assistant Coach, Willie Coleman. Assistant Coach, Stanton Hansen. Scorekeeper, Sir James Watson. Manager, Lester Hudson. Statistician, Brittany Smith. Now the Rams players, number 10, Keenan Hobson. (14) A.J. Riley. Number 20, Dontorian Stuckey. (22) Landis Farmer. (24) DeMarco Tillman. (25) Jeff Stokes. (31) Marvin Jordan. (33) Lawrence Alexander. (34) Andrew Jordan. (45) Jacoby Ruddy. (50) Brandon Watson. And 55, Isaiah Duncan. Congratulations to the Rams. Second place, 2010 2A boys. At this time, please meet the Maroons of Robinson, first place in 2A, a record of 27-5. Superintendent Josh Quick. Principal Troy Hickey. Assistant Principal Janice Lovery. Athletic Director Terry Roach. Athletic Trainer Scott Rawlings. Head Coach Robert Kaufman. Assistant Coach Les Wilson. Assistant Coach Dave Hollebeck. Assistant Coach Dick Muston. Manager Jasmine Thomas. And now the Maroon players. Number 5, Derek Hannes. #10, Zach Shipman. 12, Austin Seiler. 13, Jimmy Stevens. 15, Devin Dirks. 20, Aaron Seiler. 21, Cody Chamblin. 23, Ben Jones. 30, Alex Bruner. 32, Myers Leonard. 33, Warren Whitehouse. 34, Zach Danks. 40, Andrew Schrader. 42, Eli Wright. And 50, Ryan McCray. Congratulations to Robinson Maroons, 2A Boys Champs 2010. Now will Coach Booth and the captains Emmanuel step forward and receive the trophy from Governor Pat Quinn, second place 2010. Now will Coach Kaufman and the captains of the Maroons join Governor Quinn and receive the first place trophy 2010 2A Boys. What a great tournament. What a great weekend, what a great effort. Congratulations to both schools for successful seasons. Thank you for being here on behalf of the City of Peoria, the Illinois High School Association. America's original March Madness was glad to host you. Wherever you're driving next, please buckle up and drive safely.
In a game that will be a highlight reel of its own in Illinois basketball history, we're going to take a look at the highlights, but first, a key factor in this game. Leonard had 3 fouls midway through the second quarter, managed to stay in most of the game. That was huge. Let's go to the highlights. Roger Lowe.
Okay, we're going to take a good look. There's your boy. Ennis taking it in, penetrating. Jones again, so strong, falling in. Jones has done that for his whole career.
And here comes Manuel.
Yeah, here on the break, Marvin Jordan.
That is sweet.
Yep, he was kind of intimidated a little bit there by Leonard. Leonard did a good job of holding the post on this one here, and then he'll flush this one down. The Illinois fans going to get to look at him for 4 years. Lawrence Alexander, he hasn't played his last game, I guarantee you that. But for him, they wouldn't have been playing in this ball game today. Hanna's again getting his head and shoulders by people. Gets both feet underneath him and gets the lift.
Hanna's just kept attacking.
He sure did. He's the kind of guy that coaches dream about coaching sometime in their career.
And Hannes will go to Ball State, where, of course, Marvin Jordan is also going. Marvin playing basketball, Hannes playing baseball. You wonder what that conversation is going to be like on campus down the road. For Roger Lowe, we have, okay, let's go to Derek Booth real quick. Lee.
All right, guys, thanks a lot, Coach. Boy, it's a shame that anybody has to lose a game like that. I know that's a cliche, but your guys fought their hearts out.
They did. I'm proud of this group, man. You know, finishing second place with this group, you know, it's tough. You know, our goal was to win it all, no doubt about that. And that's a very good ball club that we just lost to. But you know, but I'm proud of this group. I am. They've worked hard. They're good kids, man. They got great character. You know, and I'm just waiting forward to the day they come back and tell me they got their degree, they got a great job, because this group is going to be successful in life, and that means more to me than what they do on the basketball court. I just coached a great group of kids this year, and not every coach can say that every year.
You're a good man. You've done a good job at Manual, my friend. Good luck to you. What's your name?
Chancellor.
Chancellor, good job. You hang on to Daddy, okay? All right? All right, congratulations to the Manual Rams on a great run, guys.
And Daddy knows what's important. It's Robinson holding number 1 for the first time in the school history. Here's to you. For Roger Lowe, I'm Jim Albrecht for our great crew. Join us next week for more exciting basketball on the IHSA Television Network. Enjoy it, Coach.